Hey there. I'm looking to provide a full Pokemon Gym Leader experience where some contemporaries only provide a team. While they are much better at crafting a team, I am looking to provide a story for the Gym Leader where we haven't really seen one since Generation 5. Additionally, I am looking to provide more purpose in the Gym Leader as an NPC and their gym as a location, where GameFreak has never provided, hopefully giving us some insight into some possibilities for improvement. In this video, I will go over the puzzle, trainers and their Pokemon, a description of the leader and their team and their overall relevance, as well as the TM and HM received for your victory. I know HMs aren't prominent today, but I figured I might as well include them. As this project considers a more open world with level scaling, I will only cover the Gym Leader's team if you battle them as Gym 1 and Gym 8, as well as a rematch team. I will not be creating a Fakemon for the leader to use, though I am considering coming back to the idea later on. Since the introduction of the Dark type in Generation 2, we have seen the type relegated to evil teams, until Nanu in Sun and Moon and Piers in Sword and Shield, only one of which has the title of Gym Leader. You can justify this relegation to the type being quote-unquote evil, as it is called in Japanese, though I find this unfair as poison is similarly used en masse by evil teams, though they have multiple gyms. It's only 2 gyms, and I think they deserve more, but that's besides the point. My previous gym design was a flying gym, though it had the secondary type of water, helping it align better with the theme I created. This gym is monotyped. Well, I tried. You'll see. The theme embodies the dark type without the evil interpretation of the typing. Dark types also embody scary things, and what is more scary to a kid, as this is primarily a children's game, than the dentist? Ooh, dentophobia! You can also think about it as being eaten is scary too, if you'd like. I've thought of 2 ideas for the puzzle. One if the touchscreen was implemented, and one if not. If I had to choose, I would go with the not touchscreen one. If implemented, you would walk around the gym finding Pokemon and cleaning their teeth like those crappy mobile games. Speaking of mobile games, I found out there used to be an app called Pokemon Smile that taught children to brush their teeth. Without touching the screen, players would walk around the gym, delivering tool carts to nurses and defeating them to obtain tools the doctor/gym leader needs to complete an appointment. You would be able to talk to the doctor, but they would request your help in obtaining tools before battling you. The NPC labeled so in this hypothetical layout would probably say they are preparing for an examination or something. The random nurse that you slam with a cart might mention that it is rude to push people into things, and things into people. Why the distinction? I don't know. As for the trainers, which are nurses of course, they would use some toothy dark-type Pokemon like the Sharpedo line, the Houndoom line, and the Drapion line. These Pokemon would primarily use biting moves. I have the black and white nurse trainer class here as a stand-in, though their scrubs would be gray in color. On a side note, I really like these sprites and wish GameFreak would bring back this trainer class. Or anything that isn't students, like Scarlet and Violet. Meet Dr. Helena. She is overly dedicated to her work. Even the most minor amount of plaque on a patient's teeth she treats with the utmost attention. She feels it is her duty, just like she feels it is her duty to prepare trainers as a gym leader. Already unnecessarily overworking herself in dentistry, she took on the responsibility of a gym leader. The position was given to her as an attempt to get her to focus on something other than dentistry. This backfired dramatically. While she does own a house in town, she often spends her nights collapsed on couches in the waiting room of the office, not returning home until the wee hours. These self-imposed long days have led to dark spots forming under her eyes. The nurses of the office are unsure if they will ever disappear. Upon her defeat, she will reward the player with the HM cut and the TM crunch. If players decide to challenge this gym first, the first member of this dark-type team will be Choodle. Not a dark type, I know, but underhanded, if you think about it. I think this still fits within the theme with the ability Strong Jaw and a move like Bite. Water Gun is here for coverage, and I gave it Protect because I did not want to load up each member's moveset with attacking moves, and I couldn't find or think of anything better. As the first gym, these Pokemon are going to be between level 14 and 16, maybe even 17, and so are restricted to those low-level moves, severely limiting their moveset. I know gyms don't typically have members with TM moves, but I really like the idea of Thunder Wave on Impidimp to slow opponents down. This will come back later in full force, but we're ignoring it for the theme. Maybe this goes too far, so instead, it can know Confide, as it can still take advantage of the ability Prankster and lower special attack. Impidimp here has Bite and Fake Out. I know Assurance is better, but I have a theme to hold. The Gym 1 ace will be the Desert Croc Pokemon Sandile. With the ability Intimidate, hopefully it will be able to hang on enough to take advantage of a Hone Claws to trap opponents in a stronger Sand Tomb, leaving them open to a Bite. It would undoubtedly survive when holding an Eviolite. I really wanted this guy to have a defense boosting item, so we could give him an Assault Vest instead, but I really did not want to do that. So, if Eviolite is too much, Sandile can hold an Oranberry. Now, I do not believe 3 Pokemon is too much for Gym 1, but if desired, we could remove Impidimp, as I would like to keep Choodle for the theme that will be very obvious shortly. Not that I haven't already said that the theme is dentistry. For Gym 8, we again start not with a dark type. With Strong Jaw, Bruxish can take advantage of Crunch, Psychic Fangs, and Ice Fang, making necessary use of Strong Jaw to fit the theme. Reflect with Light Clay for the rematch is great support and devious if set up for the next team member. This Dark Rock type Pokemon immediately summons a Sandstorm upon entering the field, mimicking Plaque buildup as much as I can. Tyranitar's only ability is Sandstream, and I am not giving hidden abilities here, even if this one is just a nerve. If it had Strong Jaw, however, it would boost the power of Fire Fang. Not that it has it. Rock Throw is here so Tyranitar has Stab, and Torment is here because that's what happens when you go to the dentist. A Razor Fang in the rematch, again mostly for theming, but may cause opponents to flinch. The Bite Pokemon Dreadnought can make enough use of the Strong Jaw ability to make up for not being a Dark type. I elected to exclude its signature move, Jawlock, which is boosted by Strong Jaw, to favor Crunch, as is the Bit, and 2 Dark type moves that do the same damage would be redundant. Maybe in the rematch it can note Jawlock, but not for the gym fight. Super Fang and Ice Fang are decent coverage, which take advantage of Strong Jaw, alongside Stealth Rock to poke players like food stuck in your teeth. With the Black Glasses in the rematch, it will be able to demolish opponents with its Dark type move. Crocodiles have teeth. Being bitten is scary. Therefore, Crocodile's ability is Intimidate. That's the correlation with the theme here. Crocodile learns Crunch and Thunderfang, though it can't have Strong Jaw as an ability. Note, no Dark types can have Strong Jaw as an ability, except for Mega Sharpedo. Torment is here for the same reason as it is on Tyranitar. I gave Crocodile Earthquake for Stab, but we could give it the slightly weaker Bulldoze for the gym, and keep Earthquake for the rematch. Speaking of rematches, I've given it a Muscle Band for the rematch because I am bad at assigning items, and it will just make it hit stronger. Our Impidimp from Gym 1 has grown up into a Grimmsnarl and been promoted to Ace. Is this a more fitting position? I don't know. I just wanted the Pokemon who took advantage of Tyranitar's Sandstream near each other, and Crocodile didn't feel like it fit as an ace anymore. Crunch is here for the same reason as every other team member. Playing rough is how you get teeth knocked out, but even more so by a Sucker Punch. Jokes aside, Play Rough is great coverage with Stab, and Sucker Punch was the only move I could find and relate to teeth. This Grimmsnarl has Thunder Wave again. Here is better than it is on Gym 1, despite the same flaw of being a TM move. How is it better? I think it acts as an anesthetic, where in Gym 1 it might have been too strong and the patient, the player, would be lights out. Here, the player and their Pokemon are experienced and can withstand its effects enough for Thunderwave to hinder in a fair way. That's just what I think, though. It holds a citrus berry, because I couldn't think of anything better and I'm bad at items. I think I managed to stick with the theme, and I like the theme. But if you watched the Flying Gym video, I mentioned some hesitance with a Sharpedo. Well, here it is. The Sharpedo problem that really isn't much of a problem. Previously, I had it in my head that I would make a series of gyms and every 8 would belong to the same region, and therefore did not want to overlap team members. Ultimately, it doesn't have to be that way, so it is a non-issue, really. As I said earlier in this video, Mega Sharpedo is the only dark type with the ability Strong Jaw, but that does not mean normal Sharpedos have it. I can still give it Crunch and Poison Fang though, with a Poison Barb to bump up the power of the latter. Both moves fit the theme and one handles fairy types. Liquidation, you could say this is like that pressure washer they use on your teeth. Initially, I finished off this moveset with Protect, but I have been considering Screech or Scary Face to lower defense or speed respectively, both of which the next Pokemon in line could take advantage of. That said, Dracovish is not the next in line. These two are just hard to decide what to do with. Crunch utilizes Strong Jaw, as does Vicious Rend, a monstrous water-type move on this creature. Iron Head is the only spot I have intentionally strayed from the theme here. I could have given it Psychic Fangs, however, I felt fairy coverage with a Steel-type move was preferable in the case this is used instead of Sharpedo. I guess Iron Head could just be like a tooth cap if you just don't think about it too hard. I also gave Dracovish Protect, but I'm thinking it could have Rest instead. This is the rematch after all. The team is allowed to be a little mean. Rock Helmet is also mean. I also just couldn't think of anything. Again, I am bad with items. Here is the full rematch team. An issue I noticed is that half the team is water types. It is frustrating that no dark types have Strong Jaw. As such, I would not replace any of the dark types with Sharpedo or Dracovish, leaving the 4 Strong Jaw water types to be shoved around. It is difficult to say who gets replaced since Bruxish is a good lead with Reflect. There are many ways this team could be moved around. Tyranitar with Sandstream could probably be near the end with Crocodile as the ace to continue taking advantage of the Sandstorm. I've even considered Kingambit as an ace for similar reasons, but ultimately its sharp edges cannot be related close enough to teeth or dentistry, I feel. The possibilities make my mind spin. What might you propose to be a good solution here, viewer? We want our character to be relevant beyond the gym challenge. So how do we do that? Well, more story during the rematch, of course. Upon entering the dual office gym, nurses will rush to the player asking for help. They express concerns for Helena as she has not left the office in days, working from sunrise to sunset and sleeping in the waiting room overnight, as she does. This overworking is to the point where she isn't even checking patients. There are none. She has just been peering at every nurse and Pokemon's teeth. This has also made her eye bags deeper and darker, as she is physically slowing down. When the player confronts her, she says, "I know why you're here, for a rematch." Towards the end of the battle, Helena's Pokemon will periodically just not do anything, as if they have not been given instruction. Before she can send out her second to last Pokemon, the doctor collapses from exhaustion. The nurses care for her, then take her home. But hey, you haven't finished your rematch! Hopefully you would also be concerned for Helena's health. You find her at her home, where she is reading all the messages of concern she has received. After resting for a bit longer, she takes the player up on a rematch, after which she thanks them for distracting her from work. She tells you she's thinking of going on vacation. I think this provides some characterization for gym leaders Pokemon games have barely ever had. But we are not done yet. If players decide to revisit the gym/office, they can play minigames for some money and other prizes. By minigames, I mean the gym puzzle, but perhaps a little harder. As for Helena, she can be found in various locations around the region in a quaint outfit fit for an outing. Talking to her will give some dialogue about the location. For example, she might say, "It's nice to see you again. Say, this city is rather high on a mountain. The air is so thin, it might as well have been built at the peak." Additionally, you can battle her again, multiple times in fact, with some restrictions. She will ask for another battle, but might limit your team to only 3 members or to below a certain level, or even to only unevolved Pokemon. The level cap will always be between 48 and 58, as her teams will range from 50 to 60. Her teams will consist of random strong jaw Pokemon. For these new teams, Helena could have 5 Yungoos, or somehow obtain a Hisuian Avalugg. Her dialogue could mention this with something like, "I got attacked by a horde of Yungoos the other day." On rare occasions, she will mention how she misses something about being at her gym that she can't put her finger on. On these rare occasions, she will have a dark type or two on her team. 'Cause she misses her job a bit. Maybe she will visit from time to time. Well, that is a full gym experience, providing a deeper theme than the type and giving characterization and further purpose to our gym leaders. What are your thoughts? I hope you liked the video because there will be more where that came from. Eventually. This channel primarily posts gameplay, but there will definitely be more design-based projects like this one in the future. I like to have my videos recorded and edited months in advance, so playthroughs like Bioshock and Legends Arceus were recorded months ago, though both are still in progress at the moment. At this point, I am rambling and you don't care. Bye bye, come again, like the video, etc.